Ba is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program Learning Arabic. We were discussing in the last episode how can you write this alphabet, and today we're going to discuss more about the features that should be used in order to write this alphabet correctly and perfectly. I'm joined as always with Muhammad from Nigeria, Khalid from Ghana, and Muhammad from England, Usama from Egypt. Welcome to all of you. Do you have any comment? Here is my first question. Do you have any comments for writing this alphabet? Did you find any difficulty? Please go ahead, Muhammad.
My question is, when you write ha separately, we said in our last show, how do you write it? We did little talk about the middle position and the last position and the starting position when you join in it. But I would like to see more and try as well. How do you draw?
Okay, so please focus, pay your attention to me. Here is that. When it comes to ha, I think that is here again. So I would start with a very small hook in this way, and we are making a line, a straight line down, and then we are making another line down the line. So we would suppose that there is a line here. Can you see that? This is a line in which I can write all the alphabets on it. And then we are making another half circle here in this way. Okay, that's called the tail of the letter. I'm sorry for that. So this is called ha. So I would suppose that there is a line here, and what I'm making now is that there is a small hook I'm making down here, and then I'm making a very probably long tail. If you ask me how size is it, should we make that in a big size or in a small size? I think it's up to the format, or probably it's up to you. I mean,
maybe how much space do you have?
Exactly, it depends on the paper that you have. So let me just move on here to the slides, and we were discussing more about here is that. Here is the word in Arabic, which is when it comes in the initial position. Here is it. We begin with a very small hook in this way. We are going here down, and then we are making a straight line in order to connect this alphabet with the following one. Here is it. Now, we write ma, and after ma, which is aleph, I think that we discussed that before. Here it comes in the middle position, and it comes connected with the previous alphabet. Then we are making a separate or an independent ra. We're going to discuss more about that.
I've seen some people, when they connect the ha with meme, they put little extra line as well before the meme.
Here is that. Is that what you want to say, Muhammad? Here is that. So we make ha, and then we are make something like that, or something like that, probably.
No, just before the meme, just a little hook.
Okay. Well, actually, hook in this way. Right. Well, that's probably may not be found in Arabic, especially when it comes to ha. Well, you can find hook, for example, when it comes to sa or saw. We can discuss more about that in the following episodes. But for ha, we don't have any hook. And when you connect this alphabet with the following one. So probably I might ask you once again, please, if you can write this sound here, this letter here in this way. Can you follow me writing that? Here is that. Please, go ahead. Here is that. So can you write please that? I would like just to see how can you write this. Okay, so again, exactly. So perfect. I think that's perfect, Muhammad. Please show me what did you write. Oh, well, that sounds great. Okay, that is awesome, and that is very interesting. Again, so that's about ha.
About the initial position.
Okay.
I see in the newspapers, especially in the English newspapers, that they have a tendency to begin a paragraph with a capitalized letter, the big size.
I think, Usama...
and do we have such thing in Arabic?
I think, Usama, here is the point. Generally speaking, we don't have... As you know, that if you'd like to start any sentence in English, the first thing you have to do is just to make a capitalized letter at the beginning of the sentence. That's probably may not be found in Arabic. But in Arabic, they are making something else. Probably they are just trying to enlarge the size of the alphabet in order to show that we are starting here with the...
I think the English, the first letter is capital because of the grammatical reason, because you have to have a grammar. But in Arabic, we don't have such a reason.
Exactly.
Now, because in English, we do have certain words to start a sentence. But in Arabic, you could just pick any letter and, and write. You don't have to make capital or, That's not the case in
I think that's another interesting point, because if you just finish the first sentence in any newspaper, then if you just look at the finishing or the ending point of the sentence, if you just look at the following letter, which probably comes at the beginning of any sentence, you can find that the letter is written in a normal way. We don't have any capitalized letter, and that's why, generally speaking, we say that we don't have any capitalized or we don't have any capital alphabets in Arabic. All of them actually are written in the same form, but probably you can find that kind of big size of the alphabets when it comes to in probably at the beginning of any article.
Normally you see a capital Ya, very big Ya, and then small writing.
Right, sounds like that. Okay. So generally speaking, when we talk about how, when it comes to initial position, it's always a connecting.
What about the last position?
When it comes when it comes to initial in the final or in the middle position, we can know more about that. Muhammad, here is it. Here ha is coming in the medial position, and if you can see that, it comes connected. So that means that, let me just write this word once again. It's called taht, which means below. That's probably the adverb in English. So if you can say it again.
The right pronunciation is tahat.
Taht, right. So don't say tahat. You know what the difference between tahat and taht? You raised a very interesting point, because when you say tahat, here you're putting a vowel, which probably called fatha. So you're making tahat. Can you see that? But if you just say taht, you're making sukoon. You don't pronounce that at all. We don't have any vowel. By the way, very interesting point here is that you can find, we will discuss more about the vowels in Arabic, especially that kind of implicit vowels, which is called at-tashkil. So something like that probably makes sense in pronouncing some words in Arabic language. So let me just move on here to the whiteboard. So when we say taht, here is that. So we discussed before ta, the two dots here above the letter, and then we have ha. Here ha is coming in the medial position. And what we do after that is that the ta comes in the final position. Well, I'm not actually focusing on the first alphabet or the final one. What I'm focusing on is that kind of alphabet. Can you see that? So ha here actually comes in the medial position, connecting with the previous and the following one. Can you write that, please? Please, I would write that again. Here is it, ha. And
do you have to write the full word?
Yeah, please. Yeah. If you can write the full word, that will be perfect. Okay, here is that. So ha, what I'm making here is that, putting two dots here for tam, two dots here for another tam, and for ha, it comes here with a very small hook. Then we are going down, and then we are making a straight line. Please show me that, Osama. I know this. Okay, well, that sounds great. Okay, Muhammad, well, perfect. And Muhammad, great. Khalid, okay, excellent. So here is the point. When it comes again in the medial position, it's called a connector, or probably a connecting segment. Yeah. It's connected with the previous letter.
Is it like English when you use words like and and between?
And and between.
Because they're connecting another sentence to it.
Well, probably, Muhammad, I don't want to make here, especially in this point, I don't want to make any kind of comparison between English and Arabic, because generally speaking, one of the common features that can be found in Arabic is that most of the alphabets are connected together.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
In English, a lot, I would say that it's very common in English that you can find a lot of disconnected letters, especially when it comes to the typewriting style, stuff like that. You can probably connect them if you're just writing that by your hands, but when it comes...
I mean connection by using, for example, using between. That's not a connection. I'm not saying the handwriting connection.
I think that's probably may not be found, but it could be actually. We can find a lot of examples in the following slides. Here is that. Final position, sometimes connected like melh, which means salt, and sometimes it's connected like nibah or sabah. Let me just try that again. So here is that. When it comes to, for example, the word melh, which means in English salt, here is that. We're going to discuss more about ma in the following episodes. Here we have lam, and that is my point for ha.
Yeah.
Here is that. Can you see that?
So it's basically same as jim.
Exactly, but we don't have that, of course. I have Muhammad, yes.
When you're writing the meme, no, you could put the circle below or above. Is this?
Well,
is this
below the meme.
I think that's below actually, but that is for meme. You're talking about meme, right? Okay.
But is it okay putting it above?
I think that is, if you like to write a perfect meme, I think what we are making here is that you are making a kind of very close circle, and you put that actually down the line. I mean, if you can find the line here, so in this way, this is the line, for example, in the paper, and then you're making the meme here in this way. You're making a kind of closed circle, and then you're making a kind of straight line, connecting that actually with the lamp, and then it comes with ha at the end. Okay, but this is probably how when it comes in the final position, sometimes connected, and sometimes also it comes disconnected, like what we might have here, which is called nibah, which means in English barking, or sabah, which means morning. Let me just repeat that again. Here is it. I can write that here again. And please follow me in writing this word. Please, if you can write the whole word, I would appreciate that. Here it is, sabah. Can you see that? So here, in this word, actually, it comes disconnected. Okay, I want to please show me how can you write that. As always, Osama, is it perfect? Okay. Well, excellent, Osama. Khalid, please. Exactly. So my focus here on, please, Muhammad. Yep, here is it. Okay, Muhammad, excellent. Okay. So here is the point. When it comes in final position, always disconnected. And sometimes it comes connected like mal. Now, I can tell you here that we have 4 shapes for writing this letter. Here is the first one. When it comes here, when it comes as always in the initial position, it's always connecting with the following letters. Here is that, for example. So we have the independent shape for ha. Here is this. Okay. So when it comes in the initial position, here is that. Please, can you write that with me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we get ha in maybe in last or middle or starting position with alif, with the ha alif, just like that?
Ha. It's called ha in this way. Yep.
Yeah.
Here is it.
Is it possible?
Right. Exactly.
Sound,
but again, this is the sound. This is not the letter.
Okay.
When it comes to the letter, that we are writing that according to the position inside the word. Can you see that? Okay. So this is when it comes in initial position. When it comes in initial position, here is it. Can you write that with me, please?
Yeah.
Here is it. So we are making a kind of very short line in order to connect this alphabet with the following one. And when it comes in the, so this is probably in the medial position, and this is in the initial position, and in the final position here we have 2 forms again. The first one is that we start with a very small hook, going down, until we are making a tail. Here is that, without any dot, please. Okay, this is probably the first form in the final position, and the second form. So I think that you have something in your mind.
No, Ahmad, I'm asking about the way we organize letters, the way we write letters, following each other. Because you are imagining a line to write or to write the letter or to write the word. What is the effect of that?
Well, actually, Osama, that's a very important question, because you know what? If you just don't make a kind of connection, that's why we are now learning something which is, when it comes, this letter, for example, when it comes in the middle position, it should be connected. When I say connecting, that means that we should have a kind of very short line to connect this alphabet with the previous one or probably the following one. Connecting here means actually that we should have a kind of connection, and that connection probably could be a kind of very short line. Here in this way, Usam. Can you see that? Here is it. In this way and in this way. Can you see that? Okay. So if I can say, for example, more about melh in the final position, can you see that? Here is it. So can you see that kind of short line, Usama? And probably I can understand your point. You would like to say, for example, how about Ahmad, if we can just connect la with ha automatically here in this way? I think, Usama, in this way, actually, we have to learn that if you would like to connect any alphabet with the previous alphabets or the following one, I think we should have a kind of very short line in order to connect both of them, actually. And I think that's very important, again, for most of the Arabic alphabets, the way to connect the alphabets with the previous alphabets with the following one, we should have that kind of short lines. I think that we can discuss more about that. My dear viewers, we're going to have a break. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
Reviewing the second rule of al-mim as-sakina. That is the letter mim. So if the first mim is non-vowel or sakina, followed by a voweled mim. So I will merge the first in the letter and I will pronounce them as one. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ. And we spoke abundantly on the virtues of seeking refuge with Allah from the outcast Satan. Especially for the first reciter, he's got to recite it out loud.
وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
فإذا جاءت الصاخة.
وإذا النفوس زوجت.
Make sure it's Dhamma. وإذا النفوس. Thank you for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the second part of our episode Learning Arabic. We were discussing in the previous parts how can we pronounce and write the Arabic alphabet Ha. And I think that is after Ha, it's very important again to mention that we have a certain type of classifications for the Arabic alphabets. We have, for example, Ba, Ta, Tha. And in Arabic also we have Jim, Ha, and Kha. I think that is Ha probably could be also very distinctive sound, Osama, when it comes in comparison with different languages. But I think, I still remember that in German language, or probably in Russian, we have Ha.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. And I think, Ahmed, that the most important and the most difficult letter or alphabet for those who wanted to learn Arabic is the sound Ha. And I have a story, Ahmed, about that. One day I was roving around the downtown, and I met two guys that they were lost. They wanted to head to at Tahrir Square.
Okay.
I asked them.
That is in downtown in Cairo.
In downtown, yeah.
Okay.
So I asked them what he want. He said to me, "Where is Tahrir Street?" So
Say it again.
Sorry, what do you want? Where is Tahrir Street? So he get confused, Ahmed, and become angry. It is Tahrir. It is Tahrir Street. So I got it. Yeah, I got it. It is Tahrir. We said Tahrir. So it leads to miscommunication between people, and it's a very difficult sound, I think, than Kha, because as you have said, that Kha may be found in German and other languages. Okay.
Right.
So that is the very important sound we have all to learn.
Yeah, I agree with you, by the way, Osama. I think that is. When it comes to Kha, can you repeat it? Kha. Right. Did you feel something probably could be different from
I think I've noticed in myself, when I have sore throat, it's easier for me to pronounce Kha because it just comes out automatically.
Yeah.
You have this problem here, sore throat, it just comes out automatically.
Exactly.
And while you don't have sore throat, it's difficult to pronounce it. And when you have sore throat, it's difficult to pronounce different words, such as Ain, and it comes from different part of your throat.
Right.
Kha is very easy when you have sore throat problem, when you have coughing and you have cold.
So you want to say that Kha probably could be easier than Ha?
Yeah, I would say so.
You think so?
Yeah. I think Kha is deeper in the mouth, Ahmed, than Kha.
I see.
It's deeper.
So can you repeat both actually? Ha. Kha. Can you see that again?
Yeah.
Ha. Kha. Right. Well, I think that is, I can feel something probably could be also very important. When we produce Kha, we have the final part of the soft palate actually probably could be very close or touches the back part of the...
Probably it also gets sometimes slightly dry as well when you say Kha. And if you notice, if you say Ha and after Kha, you might just reduce the Kha thing in Kha.
Right.
After Ha, Kha, it just gets less what actually is supposed to come out of your mouth.
Exactly.
So if you see some people reciting the Quran, they will say they reduce the actual voice of Kha to Kha, Ha, just slightly inch less probably to go fluently.
Right.
Right. I've noticed that a lot.
I think that's absolutely correct. And you know what's the difference between Kha and Ha when it comes in the writing system? It's just only one dot.
One dot.
Right. I mean, if you just put one dot above the letter, you will completely change the letter. And but it's not just about writing. Also, when it comes to pronunciation, can you see Ha? I can feel that there is no. I would say there is no kind of connection between tongue and the oral cavity. I don't have any kind of touches, for example, between the tip of the tongue with the alveolar. It's not like that.
Probably more vibrating. Probably so.
Exactly, something like that. And I was actually, by the way, Kha probably is not found in English, but in some dialects in English, like for example, I still remember a friend of mine who lived in Scotland told me before that even in Scottish dialect, you can find Kha. I don't know whether that's correct or not, but This is my first time actually to know. I thought that kha probably could be the only alphabet or the only sound that can be found in Arabic. But I found that it can be.
I think you might do in German, but definitely you have in Urdu.
In Urdu?
I think you might have in German.
Okay.
I think so, I'm not really sure.
Yep, and it's also found in Russian language, by the way. I found a lot of Russians also pronounce this sound saying kha. And you said now it's found in Urdu. It could be also found in a lot of Semitic languages like Persian, like Hebrew, like Indian or Hindi language, something like that. So let me just read the slides here. It says that the letter kha represents a sound that's pronounced deep in the throat, probably could be close in a certain way. For ha, it has no equivalent in English. I think that probably can be found in the Scottish dialects or Irish dialects, something like that. In pronouncing the sound, we should exert more muscle efforts as it is an emphatic sound. So that means actually, I can tell you here something that is ha, are emphatic sounds. We do have also ayn, we have also ta, and we have also va, right? You know what, but probably ta also can be confusing when it comes to comparison with ta. I don't know whether a lot of people can distinguish, but we can discuss more about that when it comes to the alphabet ta. Anyway, the voicing status. Here's very important actually to mention that is kha is a voiceless sound. I think that is quite important. And as we used to do, what we have to do now is to put our hand here at our Adam's apple, and then you can find. No, don't say kha, because if you say kha, then you are pronouncing a certain type of vowel. And in this way, you're going to find that this vowel is voiced, which is a common feature for a lot of vowels. Right. So say kha. Can you see that? There is no vibration.
Yes,
right.
At all.
So that means probably that kha could be close to
I do get sometimes some
no, please. It could be something like that. If you just, Muhammad, I want to tell you here something. If you combine kha, if you say, for example, kha in this way, let me just write that here. If you just write that saying kha in this way, kha, can you see that? And then we put alif. So that is kha. We discussed before that probably alif is a vowel. Right.
So without alif, you shouldn't get no vibration.
So well, without vowel, what you can do is that just to say, because here you're not just reading two sounds. You're just trying to pronounce just one sound. So you say. Right, exactly. So there is no way any kind of vibration that can be found in producing this sound. But that's about the voicing sets. Let me just move on here to the place of articulation, which is described uvular. I think that is the word uvular could be confusing for a lot of normal peoples. But for those who are very interested in linguistics like me and Osama, I think that we can understand what the meaning of uvular. Let me just explain that on the slides. Here it is. Please pay your attention to me here. Can you see that? That is the tongue. Okay. Here we have actually the upper palate. What we might have here in this part is called soft palate. Here in this part. Okay. But uvular probably is the final part of the soft palate. Can you see this? And I think that is also important to mention that you can find also other sounds in Arabic that can be pronounced in the same position. Like, can you remind me, Osama? I can tell you here something. Qa.
Qa.
Qa, right.
Qa,
So can you pronounce it again? Qa.
Qa.
Okay. So that is qa. And we have also kha.
Kha.
So both of them have the same place of articulation, which is uvular. So I can say confidently that is ha is a voiceless, and also it's produced by the uvular part of.
What they call it, the velum. They call it
I think that is, well, sometimes yes, it's called velum, Osama. But I think, Osama, the velum is responsible for producing ka. Right. And I think that's, velum, by the way, could be equivalent to the soft palate, but in the soft palate also we have parts, as you know. In tongue we have also parts. We have tab, we have the front, we have the middle, we have the back. In the palate, we have the hard palate, we have soft palate, and in the soft palate, we have the velar, we have uvular. It's a kind of classification.
So, Ahmed, I think that ordinary people may find difficulty in understanding such concepts and such difficult linguistic terms.
Right.
So the only way I find that, and even now when I learn English, that is to practice and just to listen.
Exactly.
No effort in listening.
Exactly. I think that's absolutely correct. But here's the point, Osama, that I would like to explain, which is, how about those who cannot imitate your pronunciation?
Yeah.
So sometimes it requires a certain part of description. So you have to make a kind of very simple description.
Maybe when you listen to English, maybe you shouldn't imitate. If you can't do it, you don't do it. You have your own accent. Everyone speaks with their own accent. Sometimes if you see people in Scotland, they'll be different from people living in London or maybe in America. So maybe in Egypt they have different accent. You stick with the accent, or you try to learn English, try to learn the context.
Right.
We're not telling you to speak same as Americans, speak same as British. You can have your own, accent, and just like in Arabic.
Right.
The Egyptians had different, the Saudis had different, even
dialects and
different.
Exactly. So you have a comment.
Yeah, I find that you have to stick to one dialect, and do not be confused about the other dialects. Just learn.
Even Osama, if we have a lot of Arabic dialects today.
Yeah, I think that we have Moroccan, we have Iraqi, we have Saudi, we have many dialects that. But I think that we have not. We do not want to exert much time in boggling our mind or conjuring our mind what accent I'm going to learn. Just stick to the Egyptian or to what do you feel comfort regarding it. Okay, so get down and try to have a fixed time to listen to write. Okay, and to imitate. And even if you have the possibility of speaking with someone who has a linguistic knowledge about Arabic, it would be it would be very good. Okay.
In my opinion, I think you should learn the Arabic that is in Quran, the Fusha Arabic, because everyone understands Arabic all over the world.
Yeah.
And some people might not understand the Egyptian or the Moroccan or the Syrian or the Tunisian or the Iraqi, but they will understand the Fusha. You should concentrate on Fusha and stick to that one.
Right. Well, I think that I agree with both of you actually when it comes to different dialects. You can find a lot of dialects, but it depends on what kind of dialect you feel comfortable with, what kind of dialects that you would be able to imitate and probably to pronounce it perfectly. I think that we can discover more about dialects. Well, I'm sorry, Osama, I'm sorry, Muhammad, I'm sorry, all my guests today. I think that time is always running out of our control. My dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we can discover more about the Arabic alphabets in the upcoming episodes. Please, if you have any comments, send me email to brave107@yahoo.com. And I think that we can also discuss more about how can we write and pronounce the Arabic alphabets. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.